Hey Virgo, happy January. Thank you so much for joining my late ass for your January tarot reading. In honor of the new year, Virgo, we're going to do something a little different. I'll be doing 2 readings as usual, but your second reading, we're going to get a kind of year ahead forecast, just an overview of the year, kind of the influences of the past, what you're using to walk into the future, and most excitingly for me, a card looking at the best, most positive step that you can take to take yourself into your best future, basically. How to put your best foot forward, which I know every Virgo, sun, moon, and rising can appreciate. So let's do it. Let's see. Let's first zero in on January. Let's look at this month, what this month has been like for you and where it's heading. What is Virgo learning this month? What is around them, Spirit? What influences, characters, energies around them? What do they need to know for their highest good this month? Ugh, beautiful cards to start with. And don't worry, Virgo, I'll pan you down in just one sec so you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, Spirit, please tell me, what does Virgo need to know for January? Virgo, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising. Wow. Pentacles, pentacles, pentacles. You are an earth sign after all, Virgo. Not surprising that earth is dominating your reading already. Spirit's giving me the word constructive. They're saying that's literal for some of you. And for others of you, my gosh, that is... Sorry, Virgo, I get excited. Spirit starts talking. And one of your jumpers, you know, I always meditate and pray before I turn on the recorder. And one of the cards that flips out was this lovely lady, Justice, and she flipped out like 3 times. Flipped out. Ah! I'm kidding. No, this is, wow. Speaking of flipping out, geez, Virgo. Pardon my butterfingers. All right. Now we just need one more. What does Virgo need to know this month, Spirit? One more card, please, for Virgo for what they need to know. Wow. Okay, so like more than half pentacles here, Virgo. Let's see. I'll pan you down right now and show you what you're working with. You know, this is interesting because you're such a careful and measured sort of sign, Virgo. But Spirit is giving me the word for some of you, overindulgence. This month, a lot of you are walking away from a situation in which you may feel like you have overindulged. And that's coming in a couple different ways. So, of course, you know, Virgo, this isn't a personal reading, it's a general reading, so I get a lot of messages. And I want you to trust your own intuition. This should be empowering for you. So if I say something like, hey, some of you have been, this is what Spirit is saying, okay? Some of you have been overindulging in substances, and I'm really more feeling like food and drink, you know, and low-hanging fruit, right? It's January, it's New Year time still. People are still kind of making those, oh, I need to join the gym, or oh, I need to cut out, you know, bread or sugar or whatever. Feel like it looks pretty darn good. Make a commitment to your health this month is really what they're telling me, because you're building yourself a really, like a solid foundation. And I'm feeling like your money situation is improving kind of exponentially. And it's as a result of sort of seeing, you know, this is so you, Virgo. It's at looking at yourself and your life and going, okay, you know, this is going well, this is going well, this is going well, you know, kind of filing off and checking off these compartments. And then it's like, okay, but let me look at this one spot where I have a little bit of a weakness. Maybe I don't exercise enough, or maybe I haven't been eating right, because again, I'm feeling this is very about your body. If you address that one compartment and check off that box, I feel like other boxes are just gonna like blow open. Like the results are just going to improve. Again, they're giving me the word exponentially. And when you see your cards, I think you'll be able to see why, like, oh, so why should I say that to you and then not show you your cards, right? Okay. Here I come, Virgo. Here come your cards. I'm going to get like a better tripod than this. And I should say, while I'm on the camera with you, Virgo, like, you know equipment and stuff. If you've got a recommendation, let me know. Okay. See all these pentacles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More than, wow. Good God. I lied. It's 6. Yeah, it's exactly half of your reading. Exactly half, eh? Justice and balance, eh? Okay, Virgo, you're being given an opportunity to seize this month. This Ace of Pentacles, this golden seedling that can grow into an orchard if you nurture it and take care of it. Spirit is asking you to have a student mentality about this. The Page of Pentacles is the beginner, the eager student and apprentice. What is this that you want to put work into? I feel like for a lot of you, I'm feeling like side hustle. Because I know jobs are important to you, Virgo, but I'm feeling like this is something that you want to produce. This is something you kind of want your trademark, your name on. I'm sure they gave me trademark for a reason. So for those of you Virgos who are thinking of trademarking something or copywriting something, this is what they're talking about, okay? This is something that you want to make money off of, but this is something you're giving value as well, which is the ideal situation, right? When you give, you receive. You've got a couple different cards for this. And Virgo, as far as, you know, people who care about their work and the quality of their output, you're at the top of the food chain. You know what I mean? It's like you and your earth sign brothers and sisters, those Taurus and Capricorns in your life. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, they just said. Except the thing is, you don't really need to sting anybody. But you have that, a little bit of, and I mean this in the best way, a little bit of that intimidation factor this month. And this is so funny. Spirit's kind of giving me this impression that, you know, yes, you may come off as a little bit imposing and a little bit intimidating. I mean, look at these two lovely ladies sitting at the center of your reading. Your sort of avatar this month, the person that Spirit wants you to embody this month, is the Queen of Wands. And, you know, you can identify any way you want and be a Queen of Wands. It has nothing to do with masculine, feminine, male, female, blah, blah, blah. It's all about your type of character. And this month, Spirit wants you to use your magic, your unique magic, okay? It's not about what anybody else does. It's about what you want to create, what you want to enjoy, what you would feel proud to look around and see, like, look what I've built, look at this community that I've built, or look at these crafts that I've created, or look at this business that I've, like, built from the ground up. It's something that has a lot of concrete, it's either financial or some other kind of concrete grounded rewards, okay? I mean, this is literally getting paid, but Spirit is also just using the word satisfaction. So some of you are getting paid well for this. Some of you are just starting for your first time to get paid for this. So even if it's not like, wow, I'm rich, it's like, oh my God, I just got my first client. Or, oh my God, I made my first $100. Or it's some kind of milestone. Something showing you I'm moving in the right direction. If I stay committed to this, I can have, you know, Spirit just said more than enough. More than enough. And you know, Spirit's giving you a lot of you this message because it feels like something else is moving out of your life. Wow, this is what Spirit just said, okay? You know, you're very choosy, Virgo. You know, people, you're famous for the way that you are critical, right? But critical isn't always bad. Critical thinking is invaluable, and you've had to think critically about some relationships around you. I mean more than romantic. I mean friendships. I mean people that you've poured a lot of love and time and energy into, and you've given a lot. This what Spirit is saying, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances. Like maybe this time, maybe if I approach it this way, maybe if I explain it this way, maybe. And a lot of you are finally like, okay, you know what? If you're not going to fill up my cups, other person, other situation, I'm going to go find a way to fill up my own cup. And if you can see in the figure's hand, he's walking away from these 8 stagnant, stacked up cups and walking toward the source, the running, fresh, healthy source of all this water. And he's holding a lotus blossom in his hand. The lotus that can only grow out of mud and stagnation. So you've learned what you needed to learn from this situation, Virgo. You know, for some of you, it's a more painful lesson. And for others of you, I feel like really overwhelmingly, overwhelmingly, I feel most of you are going to be happier, and it won't take very long. You know what I mean? Before it becomes just really apparent that you've made the right decision. Because it's understandable that when you've invested this much time and love into something, you know, you want to turn and look back. And you may get tempted to look over your shoulder. Some of you may be even tempted to go pick up these cups again and try to take a sip, only to find that, like, ugh, like, this is poisonous, this is disgusting, this has been standing here and not getting poured back and forth. You know, no give and take. So whatever the situation, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, general reading, where you feel like you poured in so much and didn't receive in return, it's okay to walk away. And in fact, it's going to be empowering for you to walk away. And it's just one of those rules of the universe, Virgo, that when you make the courageous decision to turn your back on a person, a habit, a relationship, an addiction that wasn't healthy for you, and you close up a leaky energetic channel, you allow that magical energy that was getting, you know, wasted to flow elsewhere. Maybe you bring in a new job, you bring in a new client, you bring in a new stream of income. Maybe you get a promotion, maybe you get a raise. This could be different depending on, like, are you a hustler, or do you have a 9-to-5 job? Something is coming in. It could even come in the form of a gift. You know, like, I've been reading cards for a little over 20 years, Virgo. And rarely have I seen it happen. It's not that it's impossible, because I've seen things like this, but rarely have I seen someone, you know, get rid of a bad boyfriend and then, you know, within a month or two, they've manifested the perfect guy. What I have seen more often is somebody gets rid of a bad boyfriend and within a month, they've manifested an amazing new job or an opportunity to travel somewhere, and Spirit is using that phrase for you, okay? So some of you might get offered a trip or some kind of retreat or some kind of, like, hey, come have a weekend for free or something like that. Something that makes you feel reassured that your abundance is growing. Not just financial abundance, which is important, but just that feeling of security and of pride and of, you know, Virgo, you are at your best when you feel like everything is in order. It's not, again, like Spirit was saying, that you're, like, hypercritical. It's just that you care. You care and you like things to be a certain way so that you can navigate your life more cleanly, more clearly. You like things to be in balance. And, you know, you need things to be in balance when you're building your life, when you're building this foundation for yourself. A lot of you have really committed to making something new out of 2018. And I feel like, okay, Spirit is giving me, like, a really interesting message. And I don't want this to intimidate or worry you, because I feel like this is very positive, okay? Your actions, and especially the more you have it in you to recognize and acknowledge and then capitalize upon your skills this month, you're going to kind of flick over a domino that sets things into motion that you could not and cannot yet predict. The moon is here, right alongside one of my favorite cards in the deck, the star. The moon and stars, baby. You've got the whole universe in your cards. The star is saying that that vision that you have, that hope, keep it. Don't let it go. It's not crazy. It's not wild. Yes, you may feel like, I shouldn't say it's not wild, because look at this. This is very wild. But it's like, trust your wild magic, okay? Trust your instinct. Keep moving toward that vision. There's a reason that it keeps tugging at you, no matter how many people tell you, like, that's crazy or that's too much or you're thinking too big. You're not. You're not thinking too big. You have this. You're the queen of freaking wands, the queen of charisma, wit, warmth, humor. Spirit is saying that, Virgo, you may not feel like the most ostentatious person in the room. Some of you feel charismatic and some of you don't. Some of you feel like, no, I identify more with that sort of librarian, calm, collected version of Virgo. All of you Spirit wants you to take the lead. Take the lead in your life, and you will produce like unimaginable things. Use your own personal magic. Spirit just said some of you, it's literally a green thumb. Maybe you're growing herbs for people and selling them. Maybe some of you are going to start a business building container gardens for people. God knows I would love somebody to come teach me how to do that. Like, this is totally what Spirit is coming through with, okay? So if some of you have been considering this, maybe it's like some other type of craft. I feel like for a lot of you it's mechanical. It's working with your hands, whether it's like gardening or a literal mechanic, or you craft things, or you know, do hand-lettered signs. Whatever this is, Virgo. Spirit wants you to make your magic this month and trust that wild magic. Trust your vision. This wouldn't keep calling out to you in the night, and you wouldn't have the courage to keep walking through the dark if this wasn't meant for you, if this wasn't calling to you from your soul. You're building something incredible this month. You're improving your skills, improving your financial situation, improving your lot in life, and it's going to bring about some exciting new developments that might, you know, really trip you out. But I feel that it's in a good way. I feel that it's like, oh my God, how did this happen? How did this happen? How did I end up with this wild opportunity, this chance to do something? Spirit says for some of you, it's like signing contracts. Maybe you're signing leases, you're moving somewhere new, or you're signing like on the dotted line for a new job, new salary. It's wild and it's exciting, and it feels like a major upgrade. Looks like a pretty smooth and happy month too. Not a lot of bumps. Some of you are walking away from that stagnant water, which isn't easy, but the reward is huge. Huge. Don't be afraid. Even if you feel like you're still walking through the tunnel and you don't see that pinprick of starlight yet on the other side, there is light at the end of this tunnel, okay? The moon just says confusion, mystery, and things are still evolving, okay? Trust yourself, Virgo. And put your best foot forward. Your sense of humor, your warmth, your natural, like it doesn't have to be ostentatious. Your natural charisma and your natural gifts are taking center stage this month. So allow that to be. Don't shy away from that, okay? All right. So now let's take a look at 2018 as a whole. So you can see I'm going to mix these up very carefully so that your previous cards are not, at the very least, hanging out next to each other. And then we're going to mix these guys up and do a broad overview. Okay, Spirit, 2018, all of 2018, this whole year, January to December, for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Spirit, what do they need to know? Virgo, for 2018, Virgo, Sun, Virgo, Moon, Virgo, Rising. What do they need to know, Spirit? Wow, stalker card. You saw that. Okay. That's how it happens, Virgo. This is what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Virgo, 2018. What do they need to know, Spirit? Virgo. Wow. Jeez. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Virgo, 2018. Virgo, all of 2018. What are the themes? Influences. What do they need to know, Spirit, for their highest good? All right. All right, Virgo. It's a little heavy, but looks like you want to lighten your load, so I can see why it's a little heavy. Okay, I want to pull one more. What is this Five of Cups telling us, Spirit? Where is Virgo headed when they learn this lesson? Wow. Okay. So you saw that guy flip out, and that was the one I was going to pull. Okay. You are definitely breaking out of a rut this year. Some of you are finally ready to walk away from something. Wow, I mean, this kind of echoes your January reading, which doesn't surprise me. January may just be a foreshadowing of your entire year. I mean, sitting right here in the present is, again, that Eight of Cups letting us know, yep, this is the trajectory based on you being emotionally ready to turn your back and walk away from things that haven't been giving back to you, haven't been returning the favor. I feel like some of you are walking away from somebody that feels very immature. This person may be chronologically younger than you, Or they might just be a little bit, like I said, less mature, a little bit impetuous, a little bit impulsive. And some of you may have had a relationship with this person and been disappointed. I feel like, again, since this person's kind of impetuous and kind of, you know, let's look at the fact that you came through as the Queen of Wands in your previous reading, and this is a page. So it's like I can see where the attraction and the chemistry was, you know, you have things in common, but in the end, you don't want to have to lead a horse to water, Virgo. You know, you want to be able to admire and respect the people around you, whether this is a partner, whether this is a friend. And if you feel like this is the person, this is the relationship that it's time to walk away from, Spirit is giving you affirmation and kudos and telling you that not only is your load going to feel lighter, you're going to feel like you busted out of a rut. And it's going to be very clear to you, Virgo, that you did the right thing. That all the messages that you've been receiving, it's kind of like this year is trying to teach you to trust yourself, to trust your intuition. Because I get the feeling that a lot of you knew and saw this coming a little bit. Maybe you tried to hide it from yourself. Maybe you tried to rationalize and make excuses for this person or this situation. But I feel like if you were to think deep down, did I know that this wasn't going to work out and I was going to have to leave this behind, or that certain aspects of this were not changing even though I hoped that they were? Spirit wants you to trust your inner compass, Virgo. And here's the other thing. We were talking about, you know, again, you're kind of famous for your critical nature. This is a card about grieving what's been lost, but to the detriment of yourself. Notice, you know, look at the behind him. There are two standing full cups and like a vineyard's worth of fat, juicy, delicious grapes. But he doesn't see any of that. He just sees his empty cups. He just sees what he's missing. And this can be the danger of that wonderful ability that you have to notice the flaws and to repair them. It can be sometimes you don't look at them to repair them, you just look at them to look at them. That's what Spirit is saying. And that can put you right here, right in the rut. You don't want to sit in the rut, Virgo. You know, just because it's comfortable, just because you know it, and it's, you know, the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. You need to trust yourself, Virgo, and accept your power. Queen of Wands, High Priestess, these are both very magical characters in the Tarot. And the High Priestess says, yeah, you can sit back and be observant and use that intuition, that intellect and intuition that you have, because that is far superior to just sitting and looking at what has already been done, what has already passed. You don't want to be staring at your empty cup so long that you accidentally back into, you know, your full ones and knock those over. So don't ignore these other relationships or these other possibilities in your life just because you're really focused on what you wish had happened or what you wish you didn't have to walk away from. This position is the key, right, to your whole reading. And this is saying it's the painful end of a difficult chapter. So as grim as this card looks in some ways, Virgo, this is telling you that it's okay to walk away from a situation that has been done to death. Where you've had every argument, debated it every way, explained it every, like, freaking possible way that you can think of, and it still is, again, like they're using that phrase, leading a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can't make this drink, Virgo. Take care of you. If any of you are wrestling with codependency, that is something that I'm kind of feeling here. Codependency and possibly, like, you know, you're with a person who is a narcissist. And I'm not talking about a vain person. I'm talking about a clinical narcissist. Like, are you pouring a bunch of energy into somebody that is just, like, letting you go, leaving you cold, leaving you without that feeling of being cared for, but like insecure is kind of what I'm feeling. This is a year, Virgo, where you can surround yourself with people who are of better caliber. People who help you reach your potential, people who help you sort through your stuff even. Some of you may decide to pursue therapy or, you know, study under a master this year. I feel that both of these things would work out very well for you. It's a wonderful year. Like, a Spirit could make it clear that it's time for you to focus on you. Okay? And some people, and Virgo especially, you know, you're the quote-unquote like servant. You love to be of service to other people in the zodiac. That's your whole thing. And it's kind of time for you to be thinking more about self-mastery than service. So it's not that you need to master anyone else. It's that you need to be master of yourself this year. Dive into your powers, dive into your intuition and your intellect and your gifts, and the world is at your fingertips. This is bigger, better, more public than you ever thought possible, Virgo. This is like, I mean, like you already had the stars and the moon. Now the whole world is yours. You can find yourself on top, Virgo, if you work your way up from the bottom. That's what they said, and by that meaning dive deep into yourself. Why was I giving so much to this person or this thing when it wasn't giving back to me? Why was I putting myself in this rut or focusing on what wasn't working? How can I move forward? I mean, back Virgo, I just want to talk to you for a second. I want to look at you. Okay. Hi. Hey Virgo, pardon all the face and the stripes. Of all these cards here, Virgo, I want you to focus on these two. The High Priestess and the World. Shed your burdens. When I say shed your burdens, Virgo, I mean the ones that aren't yours to carry. Like you were carrying everybody's swords in the situation or relationship, and finally it's like, you know what? Plop, and like dropping the big host of swords. Like, you know what? You guys carry these. If you want to hit each other with these swords, you carry them. I'm not carrying this anymore. I.e. not carrying the weight, not carrying the guilt, not carrying regret. All of your cards, get these three together. Woo! I'm just throwing them at myself. These are all cards of walking away from things that have stagnated and dropping the weight and dropping the guilt, and don't spend too long looking at what's behind you so that, you know, you mess up what's ahead. Don't do that, okay, Virgo? Because what's ahead of you, should you play your cards right, no pun intended, is the world. Let it go. Let yourself grow, Virgo. Don't be afraid of big changes because they're working in your favor. There's more resources and opportunities coming toward you, so it's only natural that you'd have to let go of a few old stagnant bits of baggage. All right, Virgo, thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that this is helpful and resonant for you. If you ever want a personal reading, or you want to find me on social or anything like that, let me know what you thought about this reading. All the stuff is linked below, Facebook, Instagram, all the things. If you liked this video, I hope you will like it and subscribe if you want to see more and get alerts and stuff like that. Really appreciate you, Virgo. I hope that you have a wonderful month and a really happy new year, and that I see you in February. Bye, Virgo.